Peace, peace. Family, how are you doing out there? Give me a second. Just making sure I get this link sent out to everybody. How we feeling today? How we feeling today? How we feeling today, everybody? I already know what time it is. Bitcoin Block Billy coming to you once again with an early rising show, Coffee and Crypto. It is Monday. You already know it's Mondays. There's actually a lot going on in the space right now. Um, some good, some bad. Right. We're going to be taking a look at some of that. If you can share this out with your family and friends, please share this out with your family and friends. Get them involved. involved. Out myself, get them in the house. It sends it out to a couple of individuals that I know is interested in the information. Uh, just making sure I get it sent out to as many people as possible. I know will appreciate the information as it's brought on a bi-weekly basis, whatever the case. Yeah. Shan, what's going on? What's the word? Oh, I see your question too. Just because it was on the Algorand blockchain, and I was never big on Algorand, and other things, the OG status of Ave and where I think Ave is going. Manifest, what's going on, big homie? Shout out to Chicago in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, you can't hear me on yo yo yo. Can y'all hear me on let me check the audio over here. Hold on, let me check the audio over here on YouTube. Let me see what's going on with the audio. Let me see. Audio. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, audio says it should be coming in fairly good. Let me know. Somebody slide over on YouTube. Okay, they're saying that the mic is choppy on YouTube. Clear? Is the mic choppy or is it clear? One person said it's choppy, one person said it's clear. Is it now clear? It's working? It's coming through good? All right, we all good. We all good. Peace, power, and prosperity, family. How we doing out there? You already know what time it is. Bitcoin Block Bully coming to you once again with an early rising show of coffee and crypto. And as we can see, the market has taken a nice turn to the upside. Nothing magnificent, nothing astounding, nothing out the ordinary as of right now. Really just trying to get a grasp and an idea on what direction the market could be in as far as the further continuation. Is this just a lower high and a larger downtrend, or is it something else? Are we looking at a possibility of a reversal? We can see ETH coming in high, up 5.3% on the day. Bitcoin only up 1.19%. In fact, those that stand out right now are Caspa, VeChain, Algorand, Peep, Weeth. I don't know what that is. And Weebeth, wrapped. That would have to be wrapped base ETH. Not 100% sure. You got Peep and a couple of other outliers. As you can see. We scroll. Fartcoin, Flare, Maker. You know what I mean? You got a couple of outliers in there. Saying Michael Saylor just bought today. Yeah, I seen that. Actually, that is one of the stories that we're going to be covering today. He bought another $285 million worth of Bitcoin, right? I think the biggest thing that we're going to hit on right now is this crash of the Mantra token. I don't know if anyone was involved or holding Mantra at the time. If so, I definitely do feel for you. As you can see, man, this is like monumental historical Luna is what they're saying type crash right here, right? This is a Luna type crash right here. And let me see, did it give you any type of, let me see if it gave you any type of heads up. It did. Wow. Wow, look at this. If anyone was using the UT bot alert, right? If anybody was using the UT bot alert strategy on OHM, look at this. It had you sell right here at about $6.40 before it dropped down to 70. Well, no, actually it dropped down. Let me see. What did it end up dropping down to? Around 30 cents. Y'all know what type of what this could do to an individual that may have been all in on OHM, life savings on OHM. That's why you can never bet it all on one. You know what I mean? Maybe Bitcoin. But as far as you trying to get extra gains, you can never bet it all on one. Right? Yesterday this thing was $6.40 some odd cents. Above $6. Today it's 70 cents. Today it's trading at 70 cents. Now, that opens the door for two things, right? Very, 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 very low risk entry. This could, one could even look at it as a gamble, right? What's $100 to an 1,100% upside? You know what I mean? What's $50 to an 1,100% upside, for that matter? But this correction right here, yeah, this definitely hurts some people. This definitely hurts some people. I will be playing cleanup on OHM. I'm just trying to figure out what type of allocation I'm gonna put towards it, with the understanding, and hear me loud, with the understanding that I may lose all my money with this investment. All right. So understand that I'm just not going into it blind or anything like that. I'm going in it understanding that I could lose all my investment with this one investment. That's why it's going to be a very insignificant amount of capital that I put towards this investment. All right. But yeah, let's see what they're talking about. It goes on to state, let me zoom in a little bit for those that are on IG. There we go. The price of the Mantra token has collapsed in what some traders are calling the most significant project collapse since the Luna crisis. Man, anybody that was on the short position to this, oh my God, do you know what type of profits they made if you shorted this? If you were using the UT bot alerts and you took a short out thinking it was just going to be a regular short, do you know what type of I'm talking about thousands into millions. This right here was very, 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 very significant. Anyways, it says the price of the Mantra token, the native cryptocurrency of the Mantra real world tokenized asset blockchain, has collapsed by over 90% in the last 24 hours. On April 13th, Mantra fell from a price of approximately $6.30 to below 50 cents and shed over 90% of its $6 billion market cap. 90%. Some traders characterize the token collapse as an apparent rug pull. Market investor Gordon wrote, the team needs to address this or OHM looks like it could head to zero. Biggest rug pull since Luna FTX is what they're asking. However, the exact reason for the collapse of the OHM token's price is not clear at the time of this writing, which it has been cleared up. I've seen an interview, one of the founders, or it was a co-founder, actually did an interview and shared his opinion, which is backed by, I guess, some on-chain data of what may have happened. And basically what he said was individuals were using OHM as a form of collateral in order to take leverage out on not only OHM but other assets. And there was a margin call which ended up cascading a large amount of liquidations on the. This is what they're saying. It was a big, huge liquidation, and I believe they're saying it was on OKEX. I believe OKX, or OKEX. I think it's OKX. It's what the news is that's coming out right now. So the incident follows several high-profile token collapses and cybersecurity incidents, including the Libra meme coin implosion and the $1.4 billion Bybit hack, reasonable for billions of dollars in investors' losses during the first few months of 2025. Mantra co-founder JP Mullen responded to the OHM token collapse and said that the project's Telegram group is still online. Mullen added that the Mantra's team's tokens are still in the team's custodies. We are here and not going anywhere, Mullen wrote in an X post, while providing a verification address for the for the Mantra's team's OHM tokens. And what they're saying is that them, as well as other investors, have not sold their tokens. A lot of people were saying that this was insider trading at the time when it first happened. They're saying, hey, look, ain't no insider trading going on. This is a liquidation. It's unfortunate that it happened, but we're pushing forward with this, which is one of the reasons why me, myself, and I, with the amount of foreknowledge that I have in this space, and the amount of risk appetite that I have, I will be buying OHM token on this dip. Um, could I lose all my money? Yeah, that's why I'm going to put a very insignificant amount of capital towards it. But Mantra's recent tokenization initiatives in the Middle East, and this is what their big thing is: RWAs, right? RWAs is their claim to fame. In January 2025, Mantra and the investment conglomerate DAMAC, signed a $1 billion deal to tokenize the investment conglomerate's various assets, which include real estate, data centers, and other physical properties on the Mantra blockchain. Imagine inking this deal and then something like this happening to the project, which you probably were invested in. You know what this could do to relations between the teams? Like, just imagine, man. Mantra obtained a virtual asset service provider license from Dubai's Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, or VARA, in February of 2025. The license allows Mantra to operate a digital asset service provider in the United Arab Emirates, running crypto exchanges, broker deal services, management, and investment consulting inside the Middle Eastern country. The expansion of Mantra's footprint in the United Arab Emirates was fueled, or the UAE, was fueled by high demand for tokenized products from real estate investors and developers looking for new ways of funding projects and securing capital. Near instant finality times for tokenized real-world assets, reduced cost, and cross-border functionality are just some of the reasons investors cite for using blockchain to secure investments and aid in capital formation. Yeah, kind of what happened to Gala, a couple of other projects. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be trying to play cleanup here and getting me, a number of different entries. I'm not just gonna go all in at one price. I'm gonna see how it fans out here, open it up on higher time frames, try to get it at lower prices or whatever the case may be. But I will be playing cleanup with this most recent debacle here with the OHM token. I will definitely be playing cleanup here on the bottom. Anyways, moving forward, Michael Saylor strategy buys 285 million. Hold on, there we go. $285 million worth of Bitcoin amid market uncertainty. Now, we was in the Discord speaking, right? I think we was on a VC voice chat, and I was telling I think me and Bankroll was talking, and I'm like, man, someone from a long-term perspective, right? And this isn't financial advice. In fact, let me put a disclaimer out there. Nothing that I ever share with y'all is financial advice. It's my opinion and my opinion alone. Any and everything that I could be saying, everything that I'm saying could be 100% wrong. So always go do your own due diligence about everything that I say. Okay? Don't take it at face. Use it as educational information, if anything, right? But we were talking in the Discord, and we're like, man, if you were looking at it from a 5 to 10 year perspective, you could literally just buy whenever. Not literally. One could look at utilizing a strategy where they average in their position buying when Michael Saylor buys, is what I'm saying, right? Just something to think about. 5, 10 year horizon. It goes on to state this strategy acquired 3,459 Bitcoin worth $285 million, boosting its total holdings to over $35.9 billion. As institutional confidence wanes amid global trade tensions. Michael Saylor's digital asset firm strategy purchased 3,459 billion. Okay, they did that. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. 285. Okay, they brought it at an average price of $82,618 per Bitcoin. The purchase brings Bitcoin's total Bitcoin holdings to 531,644 Bitcoin, acquired for a cumulative 35.92 billion. So his average price right now, where Michael Saylor goes underwater, is $67,556 a coin. That's where he goes underwater at on his investment, achieving an over 11.4% yield since the beginning of 2025. Saylor wrote in an April X post. The $285 million purchase marks Strategy's first Bitcoin investment since March 31st, when the company acquired $1.9 billion worth of Bitcoin. According to the data from Saylor Tracker, the firm is currently sitting on more than $9.1 billion in unrealized profit, representing a 25% gain on its total Bitcoin position as of 12 p.m. UTC or universal what is it? Universal time clock, right? Time clock. Strategies continued accumulation comes despite a broader market pullback and declining appetite for risk assets. The downturn has been largely attributed, to global trade policy uncertainty after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a new round of tariffs. Trump announced a 90-day pause on higher reciprocal tariffs on April 9th, reverting the tariffs to the 10% baseline for most countries, except for China, which currently faces a 145% import tariff. Wow. And this is the thing you got to look at, right? If you're worried about today or tomorrow and what the price did, this probably ain't the game for you. We're talking about building generational welfare. It isn't built overnight. You know what I mean? So if you're thinking you're going to put money in here and wake up, in a day, a week, a month, and it just blows up to this magnificent balance, has it happened in this space? Yes. Does it happen on the regular? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form, right? I'm gonna give y'all the game. I'm gonna give y'all the game here in a minute. We got a couple of more articles, but I'm gonna give y'all the overall game that y'all need to learn to play in order to be successful and grow generational wealth within this space. Rule number one: secure Bitcoin at all costs. That's rule number one. Everything else, in my humble opinion, is a vehicle for me to get more Bitcoin. I don't care if it's Velo, XLM, XRP, Ethereum. Everything is a vehicle for me to get more Bitcoin for me to pass down from generation to generation to generation. Understand that's the game plan, but I'm gonna tell you in a minute how we're gonna do that game plan, or how I'm doing the game plan anyways, right? I'll do it. And that's good. It goes on to state that despite continued uncertainty around the outcome of the trade negotiations, Bitcoin staged an over 10% recovery in the past 7 days to above 85,000 as of 1:10 p.m. UTC. Crypto markets opened the week with cautious strength, continuing a broad recovery from last Monday's tariff-induced sell-off. A dispatch, Stella Zalatareva, dispatch editor at digital asset investment platform Nexo, told Cointelegraph. Bitcoin trades above 84,000, making a robust rebound despite the global macro background. While investors' focus remains fixed on the U.S.-China trade dynamics, crypto's relative stability stands out. This week's calendar includes key data from China, Fed commentary, and updates on retail sales, all of which could shape the next leg of risk asset performance. Despite the tariff-related uncertainty, some analysts, including Jamie Coates, predicted that the growing money supply could push Bitcoin price above 132,000 by the end of 2025. So you see, they're not worried about today, tomorrow. They're looking at it from a future perspective, right? End of the year type perspective, which in my humble opinion is how individuals should be approaching this, right? Remember, cryptocurrency, let me say this right now. Cryptocurrency is not here for you to make fiat. Cryptocurrency is here for you to build generational wealth, right? It's for you to exit the fiat system and get into a more, what will end up becoming stable and secure and trustless system, right? The way that I've been looking at it, and I'm starting to understand it more so, is that Bitcoin is a savings account. Everything else is an investment. Bitcoin is a long-term savings account as of right now, but everything else is an investment. All right. You got to look at it how an individual would look at putting their money in gold from days of old, right? They're saving their wealth in gold. You understand what I mean? The idea is, how are you going to save your wealth? How do you feel about ordinals and runes? I mean, I'm not big on them. I mean, that means nothing though. That means nothing. I mean, I got ordinals, but I'm not big on them though. I'm big on banking. That's my biggest thing. Banking, DeFi, passive income. Everything else is like a fucking casino or a video game to me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. It goes on to state, zooming out to the next decade, Bitcoin remains on track to surpass 1.8 million by 2035. And this is the thing. They're giving you the answers to the test in one way, shape, or form, right? They're giving you answers to the test. Thoughts on Misty, a monthly income producing ETF? Any strategy similar with DeFi? Thanks for all. Monthly income producing ETF. I'd have to do more research on it to comment on it. I'm not familiar with it, so I can't really comment on it. I'll do some research and comment on the next live, though, no doubt. But once again, they're zooming out to the next decade, Joe. 1.8 million. Can you wait 10 minutes? Can you Can you acquire as much Bitcoin as? See, this is the thing. This is what I try to get people to understand, right? Everyone's like, okay, I want to buy Bitcoin and flip it. Mm-mm-mm. So that means you're looking to buy Bitcoin now at 80 something thousand and sell it when it gets to $1.8 million in the next 10 years, right? The idea should be how much Bitcoin could you acquire before it gets to 1.8 million. And let me say this too. Every time, if your projection is 1.8 million in the next 10 years, right? Anytime it goes lower than its most previous high, right? You should look at that as a heaven sent, especially when we have these corrections that we're having right now. You got to be able to look at it from the future aspect. Think about what if you felt deep in your bones that there was a box you can put your money in and it would be worth more in the future. Not tomorrow, right? I mean, it has a possibility tomorrow, but we're talking, couple years out, right? Remember, this is money that you don't need, right? And we're really in a sad state when individuals can't put up $100 that they don't need every couple of weeks or every couple of months. You know what I mean? In fact, I think the newest study came out and said that the average American doesn't even have $600 in savings in the bank account, which is sad. Thoughts on the Helium mobile crypto? I've got more than one Helium account, so I'm been mining Helium, HNT, the mobile tokens for the greater part of a year now. Great technology. But damn, I lost my train of thought with that question. Well, let's continue on. It goes on to state that in a development that may see Bitcoin surpass gold's $21 trillion market capitalization as a superior savings tech. I didn't even know they were going to say that. Savings technology. I told you. Joe Burnett, director of market research at Unchained, told Cointelegraph. So that's what they're talking about, man. What's some of y'all? Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this: are y'all trading? If you're trading Bitcoin, drop trading. If you're investing in Bitcoin, drop investing or savings. We'll do savings versus trading. Are you trading or are you saving in Bitcoin? Let me see. Let me get a feel for the crowd we got right now. How many out there are saving and how many out there are trading? How many out there are saving and how many out there are trading? Let me know. Just get a quick poll real quick. That's all I want. Quick poll. I want to know the difference.
Cancer, I like this. Cancer, I like this.
Hey, so I see we got a lot of savers in the house, and I like what Miss Jerica said over there. She said both trading to get more savings. I like that. That's the goal, right? It's to induce and increase your overall Bitcoin savings. All right. Now, what we got coming up? Crypto lending is down 43% from the 2021 highs, while DeFi borrowing surges 959%. Y'all can't say that I'm not at the forefront of the DeFi borrowing self-banking movement within this space. Think about it. How many other commentaries, how many other content creators Do y'all know? Speak on self banking within a decentralized ecosystem. I'm gonna wait. Who else is talking about this at grand scale? So what you can see, right? A 959% increase. A 959% increase of people coming to self-banking. Do y'all not understand that this is going on right up under the nose of the average American right now? Huh? Do y'all not understand that? The financial freedom that everybody talks about is right here. Right here. And nobody's talking about it. Time, freedom, health, travel. Yes, you are. DM me and I'll give you a link to the Discord so you can get access to that class. In fact, everybody, don't forget, we got the free Discord that gives you access to my past classes, future classes, as well as one-on-ones. If you're following me on Instagram, either comment under this video once it's posted, not right now, once it's posted, Discord, and I'll send you the Discord link, or DM me if you can DM me. That way you can get access to all my classes, okay?
Yeah, so I like this one.
But yeah, DeFi borrowing surge is 959%. The total crypto lending market has yet to recover from the collapse of top CeFi, centralized finance lenders. But DeFi borrowing has made a 959% recovery from the bear market bottom. Do y'all know what that means? Huh? Can you borrow without any collateral? No. No, this isn't a made up credit system. Nope. You're gonna have to put something up. You got to put something up, right? But do y'all know what a 959% increase or recovery looks like to the banking industry, right? To the banking industry, y'all got to understand what this is doing. Y'all got to understand what this is doing to the banking industry. Every time somebody discovers what you can do over here with self-banking, that's one less person within their grasp, right? For those that want to follow me on Instagram, hold on, I got you. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, this is the page right here. Chicago_crypto_block_bully. Only one underscore under each name. 20.8K followers and 12,300 posts. I'm about to knock all this down. I'm about to knock down my following down to like 1,000 or 1,500 people. And I'm about to knock these posts down. Go through and get all the little miscellaneous posts up out of this. You know, it's too much stuff on here. It's too convoluted. Too much shit. All right. But anyways. It goes on to state. The crypto lending market size remains significantly down from its $64 billion high, but decentralized finance borrowing has made a more than 900% recovery from bear market lows. Crypto lending enables borrowers to use their crypto holdings as collateral to obtain a crypto or fiat loan, while lenders can loan their holdings to generate interest. The crypto lending market is down over 43% from its all-time high of $64.4 billion in 2021 to $36.5 billion at the end of the fourth quarter of 2024, according to a Galaxy Digital research report published on April 14th. The decline can be attributed to the decimation of lenders on the supply side and funds, individuals, and corporate entities on the demand side. This is all centralized problems, y'all. This is all centralized problems. All centralized problems. It goes on to state that the decline in the crypto lending market started in 2021 when centralized finance lenders Genesis, Celsius Network, BlockFi, and Voyager filed for bankruptcy within 2 years as the crypto valuations fell. And I can attest, I've never, ever promoted any type of centralized finance lending in my life. I don't do it. Right? Outside of utilizing gold and silver and gold backs as collateral, right? Outside of that, I don't promote any type of centralized lending, which that's a whole nother ball game. I'm gonna tell you like this: if y'all haven't set up y'all gold and silver trust yet, and learn how to operate on the private side of things with other private individuals within the same jurisdiction, commercial transactions, lending and borrowing, earning interest on your gold and gold backs. Man, you don't know what you're missing over here. I ain't gonna lie, I love this whole financial space. To be honest with you, this shit is like the streets a little bit. Maybe it's kind of like the streets, but it's more so. I'm trying to think how to put it. It's as exciting as the streets used to be, in my humble opinion, but with a way greater upside and less risk, right? Because you can lose your money doing anything. But in this way, it's real hard unless you really fucking around to fuck around and go to jail and put the peoples on you. You know what I mean? But like, I just love this whole financial sector. It's like, damn, why didn't nobody introduce me to this shit years ago? Years ago, I'd have been put the drugs down. You know what I mean? Or probably never even picked them up, right? But when you really understand what you got at your fingertips here, it's like, damn, why would I want to do anything else? Anything else would just be an add-on. You get what I'm saying? If I want to do real estate, if I want to do sell cars, if I want to open up restaurants, if I want to open up dry cleaners, which is all good. Those are all income generating businesses, which can then be funneled right back into the best savings network in the world right now, Bitcoin. Right? Anyways, it goes on to state that their collective downfall led to an estimated 78% collapse in the size of lending market, with CeFi lending losing 82% of its open borrows, according to the report. While the overall value of the crypto lending market has yet to reach its previous high, DeFi lending has made a significant recovery, according to some metrics. The crypto lending market found its bottom at 1.8 billion in open borrows during the bear market in the fourth quarter of 2022. However, I was looking into that class you got on that. Reach out to me. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. If you want to be a part of the Discord and you find it hard to follow me on Discord, send me an email to blockwallstreetwork at proton.me. That's BLOCKWALLSTREETWORK at PROTON.me. And send me a link to your Instagram, and I'll come through and I'll approve your Instagram. All right, that way you can DM me and you can get the link to the free Discord. Once again, free Discord, which gives everybody access to my past classes, future classes, as well as my one-on-ones. All right. Anyways, it goes on to state that, however, DeFi open borrows rose to 19.1 billion across 20 lending applications and 12 blockchains by the end of 2024, representing the 959% increase over the 8 quarters from the 2022 market bottom. DeFi borrowing has experienced a stronger recovery than that of CeFi lending. Once again, private banking has made a stronger recovery than the traditional banking, even as it relates to cryptocurrency. Do y'all understand how early we are, how far ahead of the rest we are? Y'all understand that? Let me ask you that. Do y'all understand the opportunity that you got at your fingertips right now to front run the rest of the world and get into an industry that the rest of the world doesn't even know exists? The most the average Joe walking down the street right now knows about crypto, if fucking anything, is it's like stock. That's what they think. It's like stock. You trade it, right? They have no idea about the underlying technology that I've been teaching y'all for the past, 6, 7 years? Let me see. I've been teaching since 2017? It's 2025 now. So 8 years. 8 years, right? Because in 2027 it'll be 10 years. Right. 8 years. Nah, we'll say 7 years. We'll say 7 years on a strong year, right? We'll say 7 years. What's going on, Miss A Lady Electrician? Peace, peace, peace. Wealthy rising. But yeah, 7 years of me teaching. Really, but what I'm gonna say is 6 years of me teaching self banking, though. Really. Yeah, Doge, Bitcoin, SHIB. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. A lot of them. But I've been teaching for a minute, trying to get people out of that traditional system and into the future system, because that's what this is, and that's what I mean. People look at it. Bonjour, J m'appelle. What is it? J m'appelle Amir. I took French class when I was in high school. I don't remember it all, but I know how to introduce myself. What's going on, Divine Ramal? Now I think I said that right. If I didn't, correct me, please. I remember a little bit of French. Everybody was taking Spanish. I'm like, man, I'm gonna take French. Anyways, you gotta look at it like this, Joe. Everybody, the private banking is collapsing the traditional banking, right? It's collapsing the traditional banking. Always remember, in order to build a new system up, you got to break the original system down. Anything, structure, system, you got to break. In fact, I learned that when I was in boot camp. When I was in boot camp, they're like, man, we got to break y'all down to build y'all back up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're seeing happen within this current financial system right now. It's a transition just as much as it is a rebuilding. It's a transition just as much as it's a rebuilding. And we're the ones that get them stones and build up what we want. The type of life you want in the future, financial life, it starts today. It starts with this. It starts with blockchain. It starts with understanding. It starts with knowledge. It starts with education. And it starts with implementation from the education. Right? Anyways. We're talking about private banking versus traditional banking. It goes on to state that the reason for the growth, right? The reason for the growth can be attributed to the permissionless nature of blockchain-based applications and the survival of lending applications through the bear market chaos that failed major CFI lenders. Permissionless, you know what that means? That means you don't need permission to come over here and bank. There is no red tape. There is no you can't use this, you can't use that. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, they're definitely trying to learn how to integrate 100%. In fact, they've already opened up the door for them to custody your crypto. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not giving my crypto to no bank. I don't know about y'all. I'm not giving my crypto to no bank to custody. Why? Why would I? Right? Why would I? Kels, what's the word? It goes on to state that unlike the largest CFI lenders that went bankrupt and no longer operate, the largest lending applications and markets were not all forced to close and continue to function. Outstanding CFI borrowers are worth a collective $11.2 billion, which is 68% lower compared to the peak $34.8 billion combined book size of the CFI lenders achieved in 2022. The three largest CFI lenders, Tether, Galaxy, and Ledin, accounted for a combined 88.6% of the total CFI lending markets and 27% of the total crypto lending market. Yeah, say no to. Hey, you already know what it is. JP Morgan of the space. Ave. Tops. Echo said facts. That's why I'm glad I took your banking class. Best move I made. And that's the best move anybody can make. Look, that's the best move anybody can make. Because this the move, right? This the move. This how it works. I'm gonna give y'all the top 3 steps. Top 3 steps to asset accumulation and generational wealth, right? Banking, credit issuance, passive income. Banking, credit issuance, passive income. You learn self-banking, issue yourself credit to distribute out into the space and learn how to make passive income off of that credit. Okay? So now you're putting your debt to work for you. This is good debt, not bad debt. Then the cherry on top is that the banking structure that you utilize allows you to discharge that debt, right? So now that credit eventually becomes free of charge, right? Is this making sense to y'all? Y'all understanding the route you want to go? Even when you're looking to invest in gold, right? Even when you're looking to invest in gold, collateralize your crypto, issue yourself a credit line, go get the gold, collateralize the gold, issue yourself a credit line, come back, put it back into passive income. You see how many different ways it is for an individual to really get acclimated with this space. Tommy the Mushroom Man, what's going on, big homie? Peace. I'm salty I missed you when you came to Chicago. Hopefully we can put something together and bring you back. How many of you out there are in fact, let me ask this. How many of you out there took the gold and silver trust class and are still invested in gold? By a show of hands. How many people out there took my gold and silver trust class, know how to operate in the private, right, with constitutional money, know how to do peer-to-peer transactions, know how to borrow against their gold, and are up right now since we held that class? Because you got to think, when we held that class, gold was what, $2,700, $2,500? Justin, I'm going to answer that in the Discord. I got you. As soon as I'm done going live, I got you. I'm going to come on politic in the Discord. How many of y'all out there are holding gold and silver right now in your trust, in your private trust, that took that class, that are up right now in those positions? Ganja said, discharging your own debt still blows my mind. Hey, it still blows my mind. I'm going to be honest with you. It still blows my mind. It blows my mind that not more people are talking about it. It's a really tight-knit community of individuals that even understand this strategy that I've been teaching to y'all for the last couple of years. Very tight-knit, specifically out of my community. Specifically, just to keep it a buck with you. Dave, what other person out there that's teaching about cryptocurrency, that's teaching you how to discharge debt on the blockchain? Name one. Name one. I'll wait. It says that now we're looking at gold, right? Let's real quick. Let's go take a look at the price of gold right now. Trading at 3,200. Open it up on the daily. Where we at? Bam, bam. Let's stretch this open and take a look. All right, what are we looking at here? All right, so we got gold failing to break into our second golden ratio. Really, what we'd be looking for in order to go to get to $3,300, we needed at least on a daily to close above 32.25. Right now, we were able to open and close. Open below and then close inside of that second golden ratio. We did have an opening, but now we're starting to trend and trade below that opening. Right? If gold can push and end up closing inside of this gold box right here, let me show you. If gold can push and stay inside of this gold box right here, right? That'll give it enough wiggle room or leg work in order to make it right here to your 618, which is $32.98, roughly $3,300, right? Now, if we are going to pull back, right, fair game is somewhere between 31.60 to 31.20, fair game. For a higher low, right, a higher low, and then we get a bounce, possibly, from that area into our 1618. You get what I'm saying? This is a possibility out of gold. If we fail here, we could easily push. I mean, gold's been going bananas lately. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. We're only on 2 days of positive momentum, right? We're only on 2 days of positive momentum. Though, look at this though. We are exhibiting signs of bearish divergence, right? For those that are taking my TA boot camp, 4-week TA boot camp course, y'all familiar with this? We just got done going over this. What is this? We're in week 3 right now. We got 2 more weeks worth of the left of the boot camp. We're in week 3 this week. So for those that are taking that class, y'all already know what this right here means, what it could mean, right? We do have bearish divergence on the daily with gold. Even though we're seeing higher highs, we're seeing lower highs within the oscillator, specifically the RSI. So that could lead to a significant pullback, and you're always going to have pullbacks. That's the thing, right? When you get into this space, if you're the type that always talks about, why is it going down? Why is it going down? Why? I know you don't know shit about how this space works. Everything goes up and down. Everything goes up and down. Because something goes down does not mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's broke. Doesn't mean it ain't working. Doesn't mean you made the wrong decision even. Right? It doesn't even mean that you made the wrong decision. A lot of people have the misconception that as soon as you put your money into an investment, the investment should go up. You should start making money. That's not how this world works. That's not how this world works at all. You know, you got to be able to weather that downside, which comes with a certain amount of risk tolerance. I'm gonna be honest with you. Investing in and trading is really 90% psychology. Psychology, is that the word? Psychological? Psychological or psychological? There we go. Psychological is the word I was looking for. It's really all about the man. With no. You know what? Let me see. Because it is psychological. Because everything's about decision making, right? I'm gonna put a lot more emphasis on the education part and try to weigh it out with the psychological aspect of it, right? Because you can see the move, and because of your mental, you don't take it. You get what I mean? You can see it, but because of your mental, you don't take it, right? Yeah, they be like, man, why is it going down? I bought this. I want to move to something else that's going up, and as soon as they move to something else that's going up, it starts going down. The thing is, and this is why I give y'all the analogy, you do not, just thinking this in real life, if you were trying to jump on a train, right? If you needed to take the train uptown, right? Do you jump on it while it's moving, or do you wait for it to pull back to the station and allow the smart individuals to hop on the train? Which one? You wait for it to pull back to the station, right? So I don't see the problem with you waiting for price to pull back to the station to pick up the smart money before it advances uptown. You want to jump on the train while it's moving and hope you don't get hurt. That's not how the world works. That's not even how the real world works. So why would you think that's how this world works? Anyways, let's take a look and see what's going on in the space. Well, no, let's cover this story with gold. It goes on to state that gold falls more than 1%. Wow. As risk sentiment improves. Gold retreats from the record high of 32.45. Goldman Sachs raises the in 2025 gold price forecast at $3,700 an ounce. And palladium's up more than 3%. It states that gold prices dipped more than 1% on Monday, retreating from a record high earlier in the day, as risk appetite improved after the White House exempted smartphones and computers from reciprocal tariffs on China. Spot gold was down 1.2% at $31.99 an ounce as of 9:24 a.m. after hitting an all-time high of $32.45. Gold futures fell 0.9% at $32.15. Some risk-on trading here got us off the recent highs, but still the environment is pretty good for gold. Risk sentiment in wider financial markets ticked higher after Washington announced the exclusion of certain electronics like smartphones and computers from President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs. Perhaps some of the relief on the tariff front with the exemption of some electronics may be taking some of the safe haven bit out. However, ongoing uncertainty about trade and tariffs, weakness in the dollar, and softer yields tend to be supportive for gold. Trump said on Sunday, he will be announcing the tariff rate on imported semiconductors over the next week, keeping the market participants on edge. The trade war between the United States and China has rattled global markets and driven investors into the metal, which is traditionally viewed as a hedge against geopolitical and economic uncertainty. Goldman Sachs remains bullish among major banks on gold, raising its year-end forecast to 3,700, citing stronger than expected central bank demand and heightened recession risk impacting ETF inflows. Elsewhere, spot silver slipped 1.1% to $31.91 an ounce, while platinum gained 0.5 to $947, and palladium rose 3.4% to $946. So once again, for those that took that trust class, right? Do you follow the dollar versus the yuan, XRP versus Velo? Nah, I follow the dollar versus euros though. I look at it versus some of the other currencies, but because I'm able to invest in euros within the decentralized finance ecosystem, and I am playing the euro versus dollar right now, there are certain applications where I'm supplying the euro as liquidity and or earning the euro or utilizing it with yield farming, because I'm looking for it to, number one, it's a stable coin, right? It's a stable fiat currency within the global economics. So I'm placing that with another stable coin in the event of yield farming, and I'm earning while I'm looking for the euro to appreciate against the dollar. Now, this is the thing, right? This is almost like a delta neutral position, or almost like a hedge position, because if I'm holding dollars and I'm holding euros, as the euro goes up against the dollar, or as the euro goes down against the dollar goes up against the euro. So it's keeping me a hedge, but then I'm earning the high APY interest yields. You get what I'm saying? So not so much the yuan. I don't see a lot of that being used in DeFi, but I see a lot of euro dollars being used in DeFi. Yeah. All right, let's go take a look real quick at the charts. Let's first take a look at total crypto market cap. See where we're at in the grand scheme of things. Okay, on the daily, we've been able to take out our 20-day exponential. That's one obstacle. But we need a little bit more than that. What I would be looking for here on BTC. Hopefully that didn't go over a lot of y'all heads. Hopefully you were able to take those notes because that was a prime play I just gave y'all. That was a real prime play I just gave y'all. Real prime. Let me see. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I'd say we're close to breaking trend here. If we can get above trend first, that's first and foremost what I'm looking for. Get above trend. We're just now coming into contact with our 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. Thank you, Bully. I have to get the banking course. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Farming stables reduce the risk of impermanent loss 100%. 100%. Especially when you got two stables, one being able to appreciate against the other. What am I looking at here, though? Oh, yeah. So Bitcoin, excuse me, not Bitcoin, total crypto market cap as of right now, we're just looking for some daily closures and some support above $2.64 trillion. As of right now, the daily crypto market cap is at $2.65 trillion in total. So as long as we can close above here and then get a full candlestick body open and close above 2.64, in my humble opinion, that'll open up the door for us to go somewhere between 2.84 and 2.316 trillion dollars, which could give the individual somewhere between, well, could give the market somewhere between 6.9 and 19.3% profits. Remember, this is the overall market. If we want to break it down and just look at Bitcoin specifically, let's see, what do we got here already? Let's get rid of all that right now. Let's start something fresh here. Bitcoin has taken out its 20-day exponential. That's good. Let me get rid of that real quick. There we go. Yeah, we're going into a new moon too. The full moon did just pass, so we are going to be going into a new moon. So we already know what those moon phases do, everybody. For those that have been here for long enough, we know what those moon phases do. All right, let's see what we got going on. So yeah, we got support above the 20-day and the 236. As long as Bitcoin holds $82,680 on a 24-hour basis, my expectations are a continuation move north, going towards 87,700 and 96,000. That puts us up into the high $90,000 range, right? This is gonna be a target range up here. Once again, this is not financial advice, everybody. Not financial advice. These are my opinions and my opinions alone. Any and everything that I'm telling you could be wrong. Go do your own due diligence. So right now, we're looking to hold this level right here as support. Okay? We're looking to hold that level right there as support. If we can hold this level of support, then we're looking to go inside this box. Now, it gets interesting when we can get to the top of this box and turn it into support. Because then at that point, we can go ahead and take this trip. We can take this trip from here back up to our previous high, right? And that puts us back at 109,000. Now, upon us breaking 109,000, right? What that does is open up the next range of targets for us. And that's going to be somewhere between 118,850 and 130,900, right? Roughly $31,000. So I'm giving y'all the blueprint as I see it right now, in my humble opinion. From there, that'll open up the door for us to range somewhere within this area right here, right? That'll open up the door for us to range somewhere within this area right here. So that's my blueprint. That's my analysis. If you missed it, you may want to go back and watch it. Now, you know who's not faring that good? Ethereum. Ethereum having a hard time here just picking up the pieces. Very hard time picking up the pieces. Take a overall look here. Very hard time picking up the pieces. Nowhere near its fibs. Nowhere near its moving averages. But it opens up the door for a beautiful, 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 beautiful upside. As of right now, somewhere between 22, 46, and possibly even 85%. Now, yeah, we need to see ETH trading above at least 1770 to even want to turn things around from where it's currently standing at. As long as we're holding above like 1470, we're a-okay. But if we lose 14, I can see pullbacks back down to 13.5s to 1100 as of right now. So once again, in order to see ETH continue on from where it's currently at, we're looking at 1770 to get breached, and ultimately get inside of our first golden ratio here at about $2,000. All right. Now, if we go on and look at XRP. XRP is still in the same channel. Beautiful bounce. Whoop, there we go. Beautiful bounce off the bottom of the channel, looking to come into the top of the channel, somewhere around 2.25. And honestly, for me, 2.25 was kind of that dividing line in order to turn things around for XRP. Right? You're already above your 23.6. If you continue to hold that $2 range, we could see further continuation somewhere between 2.25. Whoop, hold on, put you back. 2.25 and like 270 as of right now, as we look to work our way back up to our previous highs at 330 to 339, excuse me, around 340, and then that opens up the door for 380 to 450 to get hit on XRP. Let me see. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there. Got a long day ahead of me. I appreciate everybody that tunes in for these lives, man. Hopefully, I'm bringing information that is able to change not only your mindset but your pockets as well. You know what I'm saying? The outlook of the future of finances for you and your family. Hopefully, I've been doing the job I feel I was sent here to do. And yeah, be on the lookout for definitely Financial Fridays. I might try to do Tech Money Tuesdays, maybe something on a Wednesday. Once again, if you're not in my free Discord, if you want to get access to my past classes, future classes, or get me on a one-on-one, reach out to me. Comment under this video, the word Discord, or send me an email to blockwallstreetwork@proton.me. Young Danadote, send me a DM. If you can't send me a DM, just comment under this video once I post a video, which I'm about to do right now. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate you all. Until the next one, peace, power, and prosperity, family. I am gone.